Tonight, the creche and the early childhood centre closed this week due to the hand, foot and mouth disease outbreak. A team from Middlemore Hospital are on the island to screen children for rheumatic fever. And local businesses receive training in tour packaging and support training as well from the Business Link Pacific team for small and medium enterprises. Good evening. I'm Esther Pavihi and welcome to our bulletin of BCN News for tonight. A special welcome to our viewers from across the Pacific, thanks to Pacifica TV. Leading the news tonight, the creche and the early childhood schools are both closed this week due to an outbreak of hand, foot and mouth disease. According to the Education Department, the Director of Health issued a notice to close the Ofanga Tolotolopulu creche and the Aonga Whakamahani ECE this week to minimize the spread of the hand, foot and mouth disease. According to the Director of Education, Natasha Tohovaka, the Aonga Whakamahani or Early Childhood Education graduation ceremony has been postponed to Tuesday next week and will not be held tomorrow. The message from the Health Department is for parents and caregivers of children who are showing symptoms consistent with hand, foot and mouth disease to please keep your children at home to minimize the spread. The decision is made in accordance with Public Health Act 1965, which empowers authorities to take measures to prevent the spread of infectious diseases. Director of Education Natasha Tohovaka, in a statement to BCN News, says that the schools will continue to work in collaboration with the Department of Health to ensure the health and safety of all the students. For more information about hand, foot and mouth disease, please see the information on the Public Health Division social media page or contact the Health Department. Staying with health, rheumatic heart disease remains a significant cause of morbidity among children in Niue, according to the Director of Health, Minerva Ikimo. She told BCN News that currently there are 30 confirmed cases in Niue. A team from the Kids First Middlemore Hospital are on the island this week, working with the local health team to screen children for rheumatic heart disease. According to the Health Department, the number has increased over the years and will continue to increase if measures are not put in place to screen early, prevent and reduce the impact this disease has on our children and families. Early detection through echocardiographic screening is essential to identify concerns early, prevent progression, and improve outcomes. BCN News spoke to one of the pediatricians with the visiting team.
It's such a challenge, even for our young adults, the high school kids. They don't even notice about their sore throats because they've got such busy lives, and sometimes it's just a bit of an itch, a bit of a cough for a day, and it passes. But sometimes that's all it takes. So what I've been trying to say to all the young ones is, if you have a sore throat, shout out to someone. We always say that's a really important stage, because if you can get the antibiotics in at that point, that will stop it from developing into rheumatic fever and into your heart. That's the best way to make a difference.
Dr. Ken says that research continues looking into the risk factors for certain populations and ethnicities more susceptible to rheumatic fever, such as Pacific Island populations.
In certain populations, Southern India, East Asia, and particularly in this part of the world, in the islands, Maori, that strep throat then progresses to cause rheumatic fever, which, as we know, affects the joints, sometimes the kidneys, but the main one that people worry about and are scared of is when it damages the heart. That can be long-term, that can be significant, and in the worst-case scenarios, it can lead to the need for surgery.
The team will depart the island tomorrow. And the sitting of the new Assembly, the Whanokepule, yesterday went up until 5 p.m. as the members debated over two large bills, the Tax Administration Bill and the Territorial Seas and Exclusive Economic Zone Amendment Bill. Both bills were passed into law at yesterday's sitting of the Niue Assembly. The Tax Administration Bill was passed into law at yesterday's sitting. The Tax Administration Bill includes Income Tax Amendment Bill 2025, the Niue Consumption Tax Amendment Bill, and the Departure Tax Amendment Bill 2025. And the second bill passed yesterday was the Territorial Seas and Exclusive Economic International Corporation Amendment Bill 2025. The next sitting of the Whanokepule will be next week to complete the order paper from yesterday. The meeting next week will be the last sitting proper for the Niue Assembly for the year, and the adjournment debate will be on the 17th of December. Several new commissioners and one Justice of the Peace were sworn in over the weekend in the lead-up to the sitting of the Niue High Court with visiting Judge Sarah Reeves. Several new commissioners of the Land Court Division and one commissioner and one JP for the Civil and Criminal Division of the Niue High Court took their oath in front of their families and friends, and Prime Minister Dalton Tagilangi was also there with some members of Cabinet.
Mrs. Honourable Frances Ifi Whakausmanawa Louis George Valiana took her oath as Commissioner of the Niue High Court Civil and Criminal Division on Saturday. Commissioner Whakausmanawa Louis George Valiana has served on the Judiciary as a Justice of Peace for 18 years since 2007. Mrs. Richmond Pefa Wilma Lisimoni Tongahai was also sworn in as the new JP for the Civil and Criminal Division of the Niue High Court. She is joined by 4 new commissioners of the Land Court Division. Mrs. Viola Vasi from Alofi South, Ms. Shuri Morris Tafatu from Alofi North, Mrs. Jamal Silawana Kolosi Talangi Vedraki from Makifu, and Mrs. Julie Talangi Funaki from Alofi South. 4 land commissioners were reappointed for another term of 5 years. They are Mr. Robin Matangi Mauheko, warrant for a term of 5 years. First appointment on the 26th of September 2013. Mrs. Rupina Liline Walesi Morrissey, warrant for a term of 1 year. First appointment 26th of September 2013. Mrs. Pecky's Christmas Dawasi, warrant for a term of 5 years. First appointment on the 4th of August 2020. Mrs. Minimalingi Asu Hetutu Pulu, warrant for a term of 1 year. First appointment on the 4th of August 2020. They joined 2 current land commissioners with updated warrants of appointment, Mr. Dave Komiki Kolosi Talangi and Mr. Tamatoa Tom Misikea. The swearing-in of ceremony for the new members of the Judiciary was held at the Millennium Hall on Saturday, witnessed by their families, the visiting Judge Sarah Reeves, Prime Minister Dalton Tagilangi, and members of Cabinet and the local legal fraternity. Lasana Soniholo for BCN News.
In more health-related news, this morning the Public Health Division posted a precautionary recall of coloured play sand products recently identified in New Zealand and Australia. The recall is due to concerns about possible asbestos contamination. According to the public health message, although all testing so far overseas has come back negative, further testing is being done. Until more information is available, we are taking a safety-first approach to protect our children and families, according to the public health notice. The notice included information about the recall and the risks of exposure to asbestos. Parents in early childhood centres and playgroup leaders are asked to, if you have these coloured play sand at home or at your play centre, that those should be put away immediately and packed away. Contact the Public Health Division and they will assist with safe collection and disposal and provide the necessary advice. While exposure risk is considered low at this time, according to the Public Health, safe handling is still very important. Exposure to asbestos does not cause immediate illness, but health risks are linked to long-term exposure. And in business news, Business Link Pacific, or BLP, is a New Zealand-funded program that connects small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, in the Pacific Islands with high-quality business advisory services. The program aims to help businesses develop, grow, and become more resilient through a network of locally based advisors. Last week, the Chamber of Commerce and the Niue Development Bank co-hosted a one-day workshop with local businesses and with Business Link Pacific. Here's more. Business Link Pacific now has a dedicated person working in the Chamber of Commerce office to help small and medium-sized businesses with business advice. We spoke to one of the representatives from Business Link Pacific who was here last week about some of the services available to local businesses.
We have got a dedicated person now working for BLP based at the Niue Chamber of Commerce, Joanne, so she would be able to reach out to businesses. Like I said, there are different activities, and for this week we came in with two of our service providers to organize a one-day workshop and then follow up with the one-to-one meetings with various businesses and see how and what can BLP further assist them with, including business advisory services. So that is the main reason for me being present over here.
Niue is one of the 12 Pacific countries that receive assistance from Business Link Pacific, including concessional loans through the Niue Development Bank and small grants.
Business Link Pacific also provides grants to businesses, and if I talk about grants, we have already assisted about 5 businesses with a business support grant, and the grant is still open here in Niue, and we would encourage businesses to apply, but they just need to get onto the BLP website and then go through the process of applying. We also help businesses, particularly women-led businesses or youth-led businesses, and for them, we have some special consideration in terms of increasing the subsidy percentage or prioritizing, their applications just to support them more. Business Link Pacific also works very closely with Niue Development Bank, and we have got a agreement where Business Link Pacific has provided a wholesome capital to Niue Development Bank, and the bank lends that to the SMEs at a concessional interest rate.
The tourism industry is said to be the backbone of small Pacific communities like ours. This week, international tourism expert and managing director of Polynesian Explorer Limited from Samoa, Zita Martel, she held a 2-day workshop on tour packaging and ecotourism training for local tour operators and also for those keen to start a tour business. This was also the opportunity to learn about packaging tours for the high end of the tourist market. Zita Martel is no stranger to Niue. BCN News caught up with her earlier this week.
My name is Zita Martel. I own a company called Polynesian Explorer. Prior to that, the same company used to be called Island Hopper Vacations, which we opened up an office here in Niue back in the late 1990s. And then I morphed it into Polynesian Explorer. So I've been in the industry in tourism since 1994. That's 3 decades now.
Today was the last day of the workshops where participants learned about packaging a tour and developing the product, designing premium products for high-end tourists, and how to build a successful inbound tour operation, as well as using artificial intelligence tools to plan and market your tour.
I'm just basically was brought here. It was an initiative by the Niue Chamber of Commerce in partnership with the Australian Aid, with Her Excellency Olivia, and also with the Niue Tourism. They brought me in here because I run a successful tourism business in Samoa, and to share my knowledge of high-end experiences and tours and tour business with the Niuean industry. And I bring kind of like a Polynesian, lens or, point of view to Niue, because we're very alike, Niue and Samoan cultures, Polynesian cultures. And so I bring in that perspective into how you run a very successful business, and especially when you pivot into high-end groups and high-end travellers coming into Niue. And that's what I'm here to share with the industry here in Niue.
The annual awareness campaign to stop gender-based violence is hosted by the Niue Police Department. It is also the start of the 16 days of activism to end violence against women and girls. This is a worldwide movement from the 25th of November until the 10th of December. The world unites in solidarity to bring attention to the plight of women and girls who live in fear and suffer the most violence and intimidation. Violence against women and girls is one of the most pervasive human rights violations in the world. Violence against women and girls affect every community around the world. It happens everywhere, in homes, in schools, in workplaces, and online. The global 16 days of activism is when you can speak out, stand up, and take action. Demand a better future for girls and women, a future where we can live free from violence, intimidation, and fear. Here in Niue, there is usually a walk to show support for the victims, to show solidarity and support for the local agencies working in this space, and to encourage families and communities to speak out and end the violence against women and girls. And to end the news tonight, one of the last few show days for the year was hosted by the village of Namukulu on Saturday. The village green was surrounded by marquees with stalls selling food and crops grown especially for the day. Local dignitaries and visitors joined the folks at Namukulu on Saturday. Our BCN cameras were also there to capture some of the sights and sounds from the show day. And that's our bulletin of BCN News for tonight. I hope you enjoyed our coverage this week. Do join us again on Tuesday next week for our bulletin in Wangahoniwe with Losana Sioneholo. But it's good night from us here at the BCN News team. Morning.